This winter, strap yourselves in for the adventure of a lifetime. From racist, politically incorrect statements to gods who burst 850k, to your mom bringing you mechas and the hype that surrounds it, to the valleys of and the special place of learning to use your fucking rune tap. 5 friends extend the invite to join them on the journey and live the dream. Starring Carriage, who likes to fuck males.
Let's focus the fucking other guy and drop these things. Holy shit. Fucking honestly. I like to fuck males and stuff.
Angry Juice.
Yeah, I need someone else to help me. I'm on fucking 600 ping. I don't know how many times I have to say that.
Fucking down here.
Cater and I dropped my grounding totem too early. And I also like to use Azeroth Tinder.
I dropped fucking grounding way too short. Updated 2 chicks off WoW.
Quarter, what the fuck did he just actually say?
But I don't know how much notice you have to give the stripper to come to your house. Like, I've been onto a few stripper sites, and there's one where you can book this chick called Big Betty. I don't care if she's got a dick. Dude, I'm like one of those fucking weird people that... Like, you know how there's those people that get off on, like, licking armpits and shit? I'm that kind of person that gets off on fucking finger banging chicks.
And... Dark Simulacrum. Nope. Forgot my glyph.
Oh, fuck, I just realized I haven't changed my goddamn glyph. I fucked this up. Hey guys, what's up? It's Duckmick here, and today I am back in Grimrail Depot doing a bit of a reboot on some of the challenge modes. Just due to finding out all the amazing things that you can do with Grounding Totem and Mirrored Blades now that we originally didn't know in my first guides. So to start this off, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to grip this first add over. We're going to smash it on down. You can see Keta is already off stealthing and getting through the gauntlet. Our hunters have glyphed camouflage, and they're going to walk through, and Kate and myself are going to invis pot and get through. Couple of different options here, guys. You don't have to kill that at the start. You can all invis through and then pull the Overseer onto Borka and Rocket Spark, as we did in my other videos, which can be quicker. If you've got a rogue, you can use their stealth to get through, but the hunters walking through like that just means that they've got their DPS pots, and obviously, as I've said about pre-potting, it is a massive advantage. So onto Borka and Rocket Spark. Rocket Spark is just going to jump around onto the different sides of the room, up on crates and whatnot. He's going to do this thing called Target Eliminator, which is the red circles on the ground, and you don't want to stand in them. They do a fuck ton of damage. It puts a lot of extra pressure on your healer, guys, so just make sure that you are not standing in the red circles. Borka's going to do a thing called this slam, which there it is there. If you're a caster and you're casting when that slam goes off, you'll be locked out of that school of magic, so watch that. He also does the mad dash, which adds to the tank. You need to line it up with Rocket Spark on the crates to knock him down. Now when he gets knocked down, we're going to pop hero, we're going to pop all our cooldowns, we're going to fucking channel our inner Asmongold, and we are going to bring our big dick out and wave it all around. He takes double damage when he's knocked down, so you need to burst him down as hard as you can. The idea, guys, is that you want to kill them at around the same time. You can see we're actually doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. The reason being is if you kill one before the other and there's a lot of HP left on the other, it goes pretty nuts. The damage ramps up really high, and it's only sort of a matter of time before you die. So you do want to try and kill them at around the same time, and we've done a pretty good job of it here. And you really shouldn't have too many problems on this. If you do decide to bring the Overseer into this fight, just make sure you're cleaving off Borka too. Don't focus the Overseer. So once they're down, guys, we're going up the ramp, and we're going to have 3 mobs to encounter up the ramp, and they're these Grimrail Bombardiers. So we're going to do the first one, and we're just going to kill him by himself. Then once this guy's down, we're going to drag the next 2 up together. Now, guys, these do a fair bit of damage. They have a rend and also a stacking debuff which goes on you, which does do a fair bit of damage. and it's a big thing here where you need to try and get these guys down quite quickly. So watch the bombs on the way up. They can do a lot of damage. DKs, obviously, we can AMS and things like that to reduce the damage from them. But get up here and you're going to see, you can see that kind of recklessness logo, the little crab kind of claw thingy, which is up to 4 stacks now. I think I get up to about 7 stacks. I've got 2 Rens on me and it's doing a fair bit of damage. So bark skins, tanks, remember to use your cooldowns because you are going to be taking a fair bit of damage, and obviously the quicker you kill them, the quicker those stack, or the less stacks you're going to get and the less damage you're going to take. So our DPS was a little slow getting through these, but you don't have to pull all 3 as well. You can just pull one at a time or sort of chain them into each other if that's easier. We just found it was easier in this circumstance to do 1 and then the 2 together. So once you're up, get someone to sprint, get to the end here so you can skip the cinematic and you're going to get into the first train carriage. Now the first train carriage in the pool is not really going to give you any problems. It's 1 gunner and 3 infantry. The main mob of interest is the gunner here. You want to face it away from your group and it's going to do this shrapnel blast, which you just want to get out of the way of. Now don't, our shaman wasted cap totem here. Don't use cap totem on this pool. There's absolutely no need to. And it's much better off for saving it for the next pool that we're going to do, which is the whole second train carriage. So get the gunner down. I should have really been moving already with those. But we're going to go into the second carriage now. We're going to pull all this. So we're going to get 3 infantry, 2 grenadiers, 1 boomer, 1 Hulk, and 1 Cinderseer. Stack these up, guys. Again, I'm using Scabbard here and just trying to do as much DPS as I can. You're going to get a lot of damage. You got to watch, obviously, the shit on the ground. Don't stand in it. The Hulk is going to have this debuff, this buff, sorry, I think it's called Getting Angry. And you want to, we were tranking that off him at about 7 stacks. Obviously, do that at whatever you're comfortable with and whatever your group and your healer can handle. But we were tranking it off at 7. But you want to try and just get that group down as quick as you can. There's really not a lot that's going to give you any trouble in there. There's no gunners, so you don't sort of have to really worry about which way you're facing things. You just make sure don't stand in the fire and dispel the Hulk. So next pack, guys, we're going to line of sight and we're going to do it into this corner. Just the first pack. So you're going to get in this first pack, sorry, I got it written down here, you're going to get 2 infantry, 2 gunners, and 1 grenadier. The big thing here, guys, is to make sure that you're facing the gunners away from your party. You can see I've got them facing out the door, and I'm just trying to run every time they cast it. I'm trying to sort of run back that way and then run back inside. DKs, remember your AMS and things like that, but just make sure that you're not pointing it at your party. It's easy for people to move, but if you're not pointing it at them, then they don't have to move. Now we got a bit unlucky here because that single grenadier didn't fucking come, and it actually ends up really fucking up my world here. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to pop army and we're going to pull the rest of the train carriage, which is 2 packs. Which is normally 1 Cinderseer, 2 boomer, 1 infantry in the first, and then 2 Cinderseers, 1 gunner, 1 boomer, and a grenadier at the end. Now, because I had that leftover one that didn't come, I pop army, I run through the door, and it starts attacking that. So now you can just see how fucking spread out the packs were, and it was a shit grip too. I should have come further back down before I did it. So we try and Typhoon Vortex them to clump them up. But now all the mobs are facing different ways, and I've kind of made it really hard for my party with that. So it was a bit shit luck that we didn't get it, but then the grip was terrible too. So this train carriage is pretty fucking messy. But this is again where you want to save your cap totem for. You want to have your stun rotation, your frag belts, your shockwaves, your leg sweeps, all that kind of stuff. And again, the Hulk, guys, you have to watch out. Again, as I said, we were tranking it at 7, but do it whatever you're comfortable with. So once we've got through that, we're on to Nitrog, and here we get kind of fucked, and I don't know if that was me. I don't know if I missed or I didn't think I was too early. It's usually how I pull it, but we kind of got ported. I originally thought we got ported to the back of the fucking train, but ED spawned, and then we had to wait, and we lose, I don't know, 30 seconds just fucking standing here waiting for the boss to respawn, which really sucks because obviously that's a lot of time off your timer. And we also fucked this boss up, which I'll go through in a second. But yeah, pretty unfortunate this happened. We obviously lost a lot of time. But when Nitrog spawns, pull him at 60%. He is going to fuck off down the other end of the train carriage and jump in his cannon. So So the big thing on this boss, guys, is Grounding Totem can make this boss extremely easy. We actually kind of fuck it up, so we have to do it the normal way, but as we go through it, I'll sort of explain it. So he's gone off at 60% now. Now pretty much what happens is you fight elite mobs as he's in his cannon, you're trying to get him down. Now each elite mob that you kill, you'll be able to loot something off the corpse. So the boomers drop a Blackrock mortar shell, which you can pick up. It does 25% damage to the boss cannon. The gunner drops shrapnel, which you use to clean up the elite mobs, and the grenadiers drop grenades, which you can loot and throw either at the cannon or at the trash. Now, one of the big things here is what we usually do is we had somebody on the cannon at all times to do 25% of the damage. We use the 3 mortar shells, which do the 25% damage, and then we break him out. What you can do here, see that slag burst? When that's coming, you can see we have a grounding totem down. You drop a grounding totem, you go stand in it, someone has a mortar shell, and when it gets to 9 stacks, they jump in the cannon and they fire it, and it pretty much one-shots the cannon, and you get this boss done in about 45 seconds. The problem was, we got to 9 stacks, and Juice got suppressive fire, who was doing the mortar shell, and he got knocked out of the cannon, couldn't do it, so then we just had to do this boss the normal way, which is shit, because it just, again, it takes so much time compared to being able to sort of cheese it that way with Grounding Totem. So that was a bit of a bummer, but you know, that just happens, and it never happened before, but that is a bit of a bummer. So if you are wanting to know that again, when the slag burst comes down, pop your Grounding Totem down, stand in the fire, 9 stacks, fire the mortar shell, and it will one-shot and bring the boss out of the cannon pretty much, and you will be out of here very quickly. And again, this boss is always the one where you're going to make up a lot of time, or you're going to waste a lot of time, and unfortunately we end up wasting a lot of time. But he's out, so make sure you've got your shrapnels, bring him over to the cannon. I was saving mass grip here for the last train carriage, but realistically I probably could have used that to put him in front of the cannon a little bit quicker, and it still probably would have been up anyway. But you can see we just used the shrapnel to get him down, and we're still not too bad, but we are fairly slow. 2 minutes and 29 seconds on that boss as opposed to like 45, so obviously can save a shitload of time. So when we've cleared him, get a roar, you're going to go to the left. DKs, we can AMS all this fire. If you get a couple of ticks of fire, you should be right. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull this single Farseer, and we're going to get the Farseer down, and then we're going to pull the entire last train carriage. With the Farseer, just make sure you're interrupting the Storm Shield. Move out of the Thunder Zones when they cast it. You shouldn't have any problems, and we probably could have pulled this just with the whole train pack as well, but we decided to pull the single thing. So pulling this train carriage, guys, pop a Defile in the middle, or if you're a Brewmaster, pop a statue under that portal. You're going to get 7 loaders, 2 Farseers, 1 Scout, and the Grimrail Captain. Now, the Grimrail Captain's got the skull on him at the moment. He's going to do a thing called Reckless Slash, and the big thing there is just to make sure that you, every time the Reckless Slash goes off, you just strafe out. It's a 360 AoE attack that he does. Does a fair bit of damage, and you just want to make sure that you're strafing in and out for it. The Thunder Zones, obviously you don't want to stand in them. The purple swirly shit, you don't want to stand in that either, guys. And you shouldn't really have too many problems on this train carriage. I think in actually one of the first guides I made, I don't think we wasted hero pulling the whole train, but you certainly don't, or this last carriage, sorry, but you certainly don't need to. As long as everybody's running out from that Reckless Slash and whatnot, and not standing in bad shit, you shouldn't have any problems getting this carriage down. So once we get the carriage down, we are on to the last boss, Skylord Torva. Now, Skylord Torva, this is again where Grounding Totem comes in and is a fucking huge advantage. You know, the electric blue shit that gets blown over the platform, we were used to in the other challenge modes I had done, we'd sort of split this train carriage into 3 parts. You'd have everybody standing in one, so the breath would go in one area and you'd move to the next. What we're going to do now is when the breath comes down, we're going to drop Grounding Totem, and everybody is going to go and stand in the bad shit, and it's going to reflect it at the boss. So here it comes now. We got Grounding Totem down. Everybody runs and stands in the bad shit, and you can just see the boss's health melting down. You're going to pop your heroism on this as well. Now I nubbed this up. I really fucked this up, and this is embarrassing. So I've just got it in my head, and I was I don't know if it was just the new Fandangle thing of standing in bad shit, but Grounding Totem is not down anymore, and I'm still fucking partying in the bad shit. It wasn't until now that I realised, oh fuck, Grounding Totem isn't actually down anymore and we're just taking a shit ton of damage because we're standing in bad shit. So again, I really fucked this boss up, and that is pretty terrible. Keta ends up dying. So the run started off okay, and you know, that third carriage, the second boss, and then this one all went a little bit fucking south. But that is a huge advantage, guys. Remember, Grounding Totem, jump in the bad shit. Just remember when the Grounding Totem finishes to get the fuck out. So that is it, guys. That is Grimrail with the added Grounding Totem advantages that I didn't know about before. Hopefully it helps you guys out, and if you need anything at all, guys, please hit me up and I'll do my best to give you a hand. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. See ya.
Is that you?
Yes, I recorded that.
That was pretty. That was like, oh man.
Oh my god.
I wish you recorded that.
Holy shit!
Did you actually record it or not?
Yeah, I fucking did.
Oh my god.
Oh, you
I
did?
that video.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Oh, shit.
That is easily intro of the year.
Oh my god.